side, Mayor Don Iveson appeals to the Premier for LRT funding.
Show Alberta's capital city that we are worth investing in.
The request comes on the eve of the provincial budget. Alison Redford under fire again.
Anyone who is trying to pretend that it's okay to use taxpayer dollars for family vacations, I'm sorry, that's somebody whose moral compass is a little bit off.
Critics continue to hammer the Premier after admitting her daughter's friend traveled with her. And Olympian Shannon Sabados laces up her skates to practice with the Oilers.
It's been amazing couple weeks and just enjoying every single moment of this.
Live from Edmonton, CTV News with Julie Nolin.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The South LRT expansion hinges greatly on tomorrow's provincial budget, and Edmonton's mayor emphasized that point face-to-face with the Premier today. It all came from Don Iveson's State of the City address this afternoon. Dan Grummett reports.
Madam Premier, show you understand the needs of this city in the same way that my council does. Show Alberta's capital city that we are worth investing in.
Don Iveson has said LRT funding is his council's priority. That was reiterated with the Premier in the House.
Monday's speech from the throne has given us much to hope for, and we look forward to tomorrow's budget.
Thursday's budget is critical for the development of the Valley Line connecting Mill Woods with downtown. The $1.8 billion project is $500 million short, needing the province to commit infrastructure dollars.
Finally, the Alberta Future Fund will provide government with a source of funding.
After Monday's throne speech, Iveson is hopeful a long-term commitment to the Green Trip Fund is the ideal way to pay for LRT.
They just need to carry on and make that permanent.
Many of the business leaders on hand wore buttons with the hashtag YEG for LRT, part of a social media campaign launched last week to drum up support for the project. Iveson said he felt the support from the crowd, but wouldn't speculate whether the financial support for LRT will be there.
It's sort of difficult to talk about it under those circumstances, but that's why we'll look forward to seeing the budget tomorrow.
Dan Grummett, CTV News, Edmonton.
As for his State of the City as a whole, regardless of what happens tomorrow, Iveson says everything else carries on and LRT expansion is the only thing affected. The mayor also addressed the need for more cooperation with surrounding municipalities. Don Iveson says the 26 municipalities to make up the capital region need to work more effectively on issues like economic development and infrastructure planning. Iveson doesn't see amalgamation on the horizon, but suggests it could become an issue if municipalities fail to work together.
I'm not making the threat. Others have made the threat, and I'm just suggesting that if we don't roll up our sleeves and deliver some results, voices calling for that more drastic action will drown out diplomacy.
Iveson says while boundary changes are a normal part of municipal discussions, Edmonton has not changed its boundaries since 1982. As we mentioned, the Alberta government is set to unveil its budget tomorrow, but the Premier's spending habits of the last year is plaguing her. Today, critics focused on the discovery that Alison Redford allowed her daughter's friend to travel with her. Serena Ma reports.
Rather than me get new shoes.
A new twist on an old tradition.
So we got some Lego shoes.
The finance minister buying new shoes not for himself, but for his grandkids, saying they were on sale and he paid cash. The footwear is symbolic of what's to come in Thursday's budget.
The Premier's direction is about investment in the future.
Have not been the case.
But for the Premier, continued scrutiny on her expenses, she admits she, quote, screwed up.
I have heard what Albertans said. I took responsibility, apologized, have taken steps.
Will you just do the right thing? Please, just pay $45,000 back and let's move on to
more demands, more innuendo, and signs of support.
You don't think she made a mistake by bringing along a friend for company for her daughter?
Not at all.
A difference of opinion displayed loudly in the legislature.
I don't think it was very adult-like, and I would think that most of you would agree with me that it wasn't. So, please, let's show some decorum.
Leading to more excuses.
One of the things that people often do when they introduce me is they introduce me as Alberta's first woman premier. And I'm also the first premier who's a mom.
A mom paying back for 5 mistakes and more than $3,000 for taking her daughter and a friend along on a government plane several times.
Anyone who is trying to pretend that it's okay to use taxpayer dollars for family vacations, I'm sorry, that's somebody whose moral compass is a little bit off.
Serena Moss, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thousands of postcards are on the way to the Deputy Premier's office calling for more money for post-secondary education. The union representing more than 6,000 support staff at the University of Alberta collected thousands of postcards for Dave Hancock. The postcards list reasons why the government should invest in post-secondary education in tomorrow's budget.
This load-shedding approach that they're taking eventually is going to lead to a type of more privatization of the University of Alberta, and it's going to decrease the quality of education in this province.
According to the union, more than 150 members have been laid off from the U of A, and another 115 have left through voluntary severance. The trade deadline was top of mind for Oilers fans, but there was something else to talk about. The team was short a second goalie for practice, so they brought in the queen of the crease, Shannon Sabados, to fill in. Amanda Anderson reports.
It's something a young female hockey player dreams of, not only wearing an official NHL jersey, but hitting the ice with the boys.
As a female hockey player, you just want to be seen as a hockey player and as a goalie, and that's what I felt like today.
Behind that red and white mask, Shannon Sabados, Team Canada's gold medal goalie, invited to fill the Oilers' empty net at today's practice.
I'm on cloud 9 right now. It's been amazing couple weeks and just enjoying every single moment of this.
Fans started a social media campaign hoping to have Sabados back up in Tuesday's game.
I think she had the goaltending performance of the year. Yeah, it would be something that we'd consider, but not at this point, not tonight.
The team went with Golden Bears netminder Curtis Muka instead, but when a backup couldn't be found for practice, Sabados was given a shot. Her husband and parents in the stands to witness another career highlight.
It's pretty awesome to watch, that's for sure. I think she definitely held her own, that's for sure. Yeah, she didn't seem to have a problem out there.
A performance that took a few of the players by surprise.
She was good. I mean, she's obviously not as big as some of the NHL goalies are now, but certainly can move around the net really well and surprised me with a few saves that she made.
She made a lot of big saves out there, so it was fun.
I said you guys waited till I was tired at the end to take advantage, but no, it was fun.
Also a chance to catch up with an old friend.
She was really excited. I know the guys had a lot of fun and a little shootout afterwards, so yeah, it's nice to see her again.
Backup goalie Victor Fast will be in town just in time for Thursday's matchup against the Islanders. Reporting from Rexall Place, Amanda Anderson, CTV News.
Still to come, Canada Place was shut down today, leaving those looking for a passport out in the cold.
I'll have to come back another day, I guess. I don't know.
And later in sports, the Oilers make a couple of moves on deadline day.
Good evening, everyone. To check on the weather, minus 15 was our high today, and throughout the province, pretty much around those minus mid-teen temperatures. Mountain Park's a little bit milder, but they're getting a lot of snow and under some warnings here tonight. So your details are coming up on how warm it will be this weekend, but first, a little bit of snow. Those details coming your way in a few minutes.
This portion of CTV News sponsored by Lotto Max. Jackpot is $50 million with 30 jackpots of $1 million.
On now, the anniversary celebration at Ashley Furniture Home Store. Come in today for huge store-wide savings. This contemporary sofa, special anniversary price just $649. Your choice 6-piece bedroom groups just $899. Complete the room with 20% off all lamps and occasional tables. Plus up to 20% off your purchase of KitchenAid